Hi everyone, my name is Chris Suarez, and today I'm going to talk about reducing emissions from deforestation and degradation, also known as REDD. REDD is basically a UN-based program that seeks to address deforestation in developing countries around the world. The cool thing about REDD is that they do a really good job of protecting the fine balance between the needs of the people and also the needs of the environment in the different regions that they serve. One of the reasons that deforestation is so important is because of its effect on climate change. It's estimated to contribute up to a fifth of global annual greenhouse gas emissions, and it also is one of the largest natural carbon sinks that we have. So cutting down these forests not only is increasing gas emissions, but it also is taking away one of our solutions to climate change going forward. Another reason forests are really important is because of the reliance that people and animals both have on them. Forests are a super rich ecosystem, and a lot of animals depend on them for their homes. Additionally, over 70 million people around the world live in forests, and if we cut them down, we're taking people's homes away and animals as well. How does REDD actually combat deforestation? So REDD subsidizes eco-conscious forest management in developing countries, so they try to make forest management more profitable than less environmentally friendly alternatives. Another way that REDD does this is they get money from trust funds and generous donors, and what they do is they allow developed countries to offset emissions by paying developing countries through carbon credits. Some of the pros, cons, and limitations of REDD is that REDD is really cheap when compared to other climate change fighting initiatives because we don't have to develop new tech like carbon scrubbers and implement them. We just really need to pay to protect what we already have. Additionally, REDD works alongside local people, like I mentioned earlier, and it really allows people to kind of take this into their own hands around the world, and it also is beneficial to the people doing it. Some of the cons and limitations is that REDD only works with developing countries, so it's not really holding the developed countries as accountable. Protecting forests by weakening land rights in developing countries could also negatively impact those people if they need that land for agriculture or things like that. And finally, stopping deforestation in certain regions could simply offset that same deforestation to other unprotected areas. For the case study that I chose to look at the Ivory Coast. So it basically had to do with West Africa's output of cocoa beans. And in the Ivory Coast in particular, it makes up to 40% of exports, and 8 million people depend on it for their job. So because of this, around 80% of the forests in this region have been cut down. And there's also poor soil management in this area, which is leading people to cut down more of the forest to get access to new soil. So REDD is actually teaching these people in these areas how to better manage their soil and how to also implement agroforestry, which is just showing how they work with people and with their needs to kind of make forest management a more beneficial thing. Finally, for my optimization problem, I looked at a study that looked at an algorithm called Carbomax. It's a new optimization model that simulates growth rate patterns of different trees to find the optimum harvesting times. So this, if utilized, would basically make deforestation more efficient, which would basically let people do less and still get the same returns, which would be really beneficial to protecting forests around the world. And I thought it was really interesting because it just tied in with the computational sustainability theme that we have in the class. So that's it for my presentation. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy.